Joseph Grant.
I'm here on that, Your Honor.
April 8th. All right, your jury trial will be April 8th. Your plea deadline date has expired. The court will not consider any plea bargain agreements in this case without good cause. Otherwise, you have to plea open to the court.
Yes, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Will
Yes,
you be excused?
yes.
Judge, on this particular case, he has one indicted case, UUMV. There's two other individual cases that I'm looking into, that are evading arrest in the vehicle. Two separate instances, and we're looking into that. I mean, they seem sort of old, so I'm trying to look for them. So
Okay.
we might just, if we could just give a little bit more time to look into it.
All right. How much time are you all requesting? Okay.
And the reason I'm asking is that they're a little bit older. They're like in July, so it should be done. I just don't understand why they have to get pushed through.
All right. Do you want it at the end of February or beginning of March?
Get it in March would be better.
Beginning of March, you're fine, Judge.
All right. Ms. Ferguson, could, Joseph Grant is being recalled for, March 6th. March 6th. Thank you for addressing appropriately for court. Once you sign the reset form, you excuse.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Sean Pilkilton. Hello. So where are we on this case?
Judge, state has made an offer.
Okay.
It includes the case that, Scott Hill is appointed on. Mr. Pilkilton, the defendant, wants to talk to Mr. Hill about that case. And I understand Mr. Hill has informed me, and I think he's informed the coordinator, he cannot make it today.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, have Mac come down for this afternoon. And the offer that they made, is it on your case or Mr. Hill?
It's on two of my cases
Mhm.
and on one of Mr. Hill's cases.
All right, so I'm gonna have Mac come down and talk to you this afternoon. Are you able to come back this afternoon?
Judge,
I mean, that's yes or no. If you can't, that's fine.
yeah, Judge, I'd rather, not. I mean,
Okay. All right, so.
it's 2 days in a row I've been trying to work.
So
with
you'll be back here this afternoon and Mac will come. Do you understand? All right, put a hold on him for 1:30. All right, thank you.
No problem, Judge. Thank you
Alright.
very much.
You're welcome.
Judge.
We'll call you if we do. All right, thank you.
So they're gonna bring him back at 1:30 to the court,
Yes.
Judge?
All right, that's,
What do you need, Mr. Pilkilton? Thank you.
you're welcome.
All right, have a seat.
On, Pilkington. And where's, yes, hi.
So we spoke with the client and I know that he wants to speak to Mr. Hill before he decides to take any type of plea. But he also let us know that he's been having issues with Mr. White and he feels like he's being pressured into.
Oh, so here's the thing. I'm not gonna address the other attorney issue
Okay,
unless you all want to address the other attorney issue.
so we think that it probably in the interest of the client to possibly just reassign all the cases to Mr. Hill. And if he could, I know Mr. Hill is not available today, but if maybe the case could be reset so that we could also reassign those cases.
All right, so I'm gonna recall this case for Norma. Put this case back on the docket for February 24th. All right, thank you. We'll
Thank
see
you,
you back on
Judge.
February 24th.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good to see you, Judge.
You too, have a good one. Erminio Rangel. Hello,
Good morning, Judge.
morning, how are you doing?
Too blessed to be stressed, I guess.
Oh, I love that saying. All right, so where are we on this case? I think you're set for trial, is that correct?
Judge, I have it as a plea deadline date.
Okay,
I may be incorrect,
Mhm.
but there is a plea offer that was tendered to to us. I communicated with my client. My
Mhm.
client has rejected that plea offer and wants to have his trial setting.
all right, your plea deadline date has expired. The court will not consider any plea bargain agreements in this case without good cause. Otherwise, you have to plead open to the court. Do you understand? And you're right, it is the plea deadline date. How long do y'all expect this jury trial to last?
Judge, 2 to 3 days, Your Honor, including jury selection.
All right, so you want a jury trial as opposed to a bench trial?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date, 2 to 3 days. All right, you'll come back on April 8th and you'll be dressed for trial in whatever civilian clothes you have at the jail. If you wish to be attired in something different, you need to. All right, who's here on Alexandria Alvarez? Hi.
Hi.
All right, where is she?
So we had an issue where the GPS order was not entered and there needed to be revisions. She was booked on Thursday. She came out Friday sometime in the afternoon. They did not install it because they said no order was in that had to be corrected. That was handled with Yahaira. And then there was an issue yesterday where she came in the afternoon to have it installed. And then the jail said that there was an issue with the box check to indicate that she owed $8,000, but that was related to her bond. I had spoken to 3 people yesterday in the evening to try to set this straight, and they had insisted, no, she owes this much. And so she is still in jail, and I am just wanting to post that modification. I have let the state know that I have notified her employer, Montex Real Estate LLC, of the situation, and that she is doing deferred adjudication probation, which they were well aware of at the time she applied. It was for the charge of theft. It was for the
All right.
possession of a
It's been
controlled
signed.
substance. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Which condition?
Oh. Just 1 second.
Yeah, the state was amenable to tracking only. But wanted me to put that on the record.
All right, do you want, it's GPS tracking with a curfew?
Or that was the alternative. I ideally wanted the tracking only.
So are you in agreement with tracking only? All right, so I'm assuming that's yes.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of what 70s show where they would always say, oh, that's from Escape from New York. Can you dig it?
I'll look it up.
Oh, yeah.
Number 1.
All righty, thank you.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, court is calling 2022 CR 0493 State versus Darren Doze. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Ashley Jones for the state.
Defense?
Sergio Ibarra for Mr. Doze.
And are you Mr. Doze? Did you understand your charge in count 1 with the offense of aggravated assault causing serious bodily injury as a second-degree felony? Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? And did you understand, Mr. Kalfas was here this morning, however, Mr. Kalfas had to leave. Do you have any objection to this attorney standing in?
No, ma'am.
All right, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on count 1. Punishment is to be assessed at 8 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. There's no application for deferred adjudication. State recommends community supervision. They're taking in consideration 2022 CR 0494. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, and there is to be no contact with NECRA, NEKRA, Doyle, DOYLE. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of your plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 8 years. There'll be 150 hours community service restitution, BIPP, TAP evaluation, coping with anger, and cognitive behavior course. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to count 1, how do you plea?
No contest.
State any evidence.
State offers states exhibit 1 and all attachments.
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, and have you spoken with the person with the no contact order?
We have that.
All right, you may be excused. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, this was a case that we had a lot of back and forth on. There were some strong defenses in this particular case, but we do believe that this agreement is in the best interest of justice. So we ask that the court respectfully that the court follow the plea agreement.
All right, are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
I'm a server at a restaurant.
Do you have any children?
No, ma'am.
Do you live by yourself or with someone?
By myself.
And if you're drug tested today, what would the results be?
Next.
All right, the court will sentence you to 8 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 8 years, $1,500 fine, probated, taking consideration 2022 CR 0494, affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with NECRA, NEEKRA, Dole. There is to be 150 hours of community service restitution. This coping with anger, shouldn't the BIPP address that? Or is there something he needs more than that?
Your Honor, I do believe in this case, there was one that was family violence because of domestic relationship and one that was family violence due to a familial relationship. And so the state just wanted both courses to address each of those issues.
All right, the court is going to order the BIPP course. The court is going to order. All right, so here's the thing with the coping with anger. I've read the police report. I know that there are other things that were at play in regards to this. Do you need help coping with your anger?
No, ma'am.
All right, so let me just explain something to you. If you come before me again, because the BIPP addresses anger issues, if you come before me again and it's something related to anger, we're going to have issues. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Abrams, this coping with anger, if he takes the BIPP course, would that address those issues? All right. And then the cognitive behavioral course. I mean, what is that, to change his way of thinking? All right, I'm going to order the cognitive behavior course. And once he completes that, 100 hours of community service restitution will be deemed satisfied, but you'll have to complete the other 150. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be field visits 1 time per month for 6 months. Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
Actually, Your Honor, if I may address that, this may be the appropriate time.
Yes.
There was Mr. Doze, because of the cases that have been pending, had diligently been looking for employment. And currently he's working as a server, but it's been very difficult for him to find employment substantial enough to pay off the GPS fees that have accumulated in his particular case. I think he has something on the order of $10,000 in assessed fees from GPS. If the court has any ability to give some consideration on that, or to allow some portion of that to be waived, I think it would help him to be successful on this.
Oh, I have no authority to do anything with regards to the GPS because it's with a third-party contractor. So there's nothing I can do with that. Probation will go over conditions with you. And once she's gone over those conditions, you are excused. To be successful in this court, communication is key. If there's an issue, let your probation officer know. If you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can always come back to the court.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
For your time, Judge.
You're welcome. Walter Davis. Court is calling 2024 CR 009355, State of Texas versus Walter Davies. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
The attorney of record is Monica Guerrero. Joseph Stateson standing in. Mr. Davies, will you give this judge permission for me to do this in case of Ms. Guerrero?
Yes, I will.
Did you understand that state is proceeding on possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 to 200 grams? That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? According to the plea, the state is proceeding on count 2. They're asking that your punishment be assessed at 3 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine to be probated. The state recommends community supervision, and the state will take in consideration 2024 CR 009339. Did you understand that to be the plea? Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 3 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation and 200 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offenses charged in count 2, how do you plea? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, we wish that you would follow the recommendation. He's eager to start probation. He's been on bond awaiting this for about 9 months. With about a year, and to our knowledge, there weren't violations. He didn't know yesterday. He had a medical appointment previously, and he got perhaps a day mixed up, but he came to court when he missed work. We asked that he follow the recommendation.
All right, what is your relationship to Monica Pittman?
None.
How did y'all end up at the state jail facility?
She asked for a ride.
All right, was this just somebody you picked up?
No, I live on a piece of property. I paid the taxes on a piece of property, and her boyfriend went to prison, and she started locking me out, and I've been there for 2 years, so there's no relationship. Other than she was taking responsibility of that property, I guess. And it
Okay.
wasn't her property.
All right, do you live with anyone?
No,
All right, are you back on your property?
that property, it's unlocked. She was locking it and not letting me in. I called the sheriff's department several times, and they told her she couldn't do that because my trailer's been there for 2 years. So they had 3 years to pay me back my taxes on the property. I've got another year.
All right, and how often have you been using?
Forever, but I've been clean for a long time.
Okay,
See,
all right, so how do you maintain your sobriety?
by not using.
Okay, well, that's good. So you don't go to any type of classes or anything of that nature? All right, and are you employed or retired?
I'm retired. I get a social security check, but I play music. I'm a musician.
Okay, all right.
So I make some extra income now.
Okay, all right, the court is going to find you guilty, sentence you to 3 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 2 years, $2,000 fine, that'll be probated. Take in consideration 2024 CR 009339. There's to be no contact with Monica Pittman, Pittman. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, and I'll recall the warrant. And there's to be field visits 1 time per month for 3 months. And we can do a TAP evaluation out of custody. Proof of SSI within 45 days. All right, is there anything else you need from the court? All right, thank you. And Deputy Laura, he can be released.
Thank you,
Thank
Judge.
you.
All right, thank you.
Good to see you again.
Oh, you too, and thank you. Always dress appropriately for court. I really do appreciate that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome. All right, anyone else has a plea ready?
Yes, Judge, I had turned in before the break, Justin Gelina
All right, can I
we're
see
ready.
Justin Gelina, please?
on MTR.
Court is calling 2021 CR 11622, State of Texas versus Justin Gelina or Gelina. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Joseph Stateson for Justin Gelina.
And are you Justin Gelina?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Are you the same Justin Gelina who's placed on deferred adjudication in 2021 CR 11622 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance penalty group 2, 4 grams to 400 grams on May 25th, 2023 for a period of 4 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
That is correct, Your Honor. However, I did speak with ADA Garahan, and he was going to allow us to ask for outpatients. And that the state's recommending SATF, that's their position. They would not agree to something other than SATF. And if we could ask for you to choose what happens. I know it's your prerogative to determine what happens regardless, but if I could proffer reasons why.
Sure.
Your Honor, Justin picked up a DWI March 2024.
Mhm.
After that happened, he was arrested. There's a slew of about 3 or 4 months of no shows for urine testing.
Mhm.
Previous to that, he was testing regularly every week. He missed one test. And there's dozens and dozens of negatives. Early on, there were marijuana. I think there were 2 diluted, but the significant part was just a consistently negative. It's not often you get somebody who pays a lot of their fees.
Mhm.
He paid significant portion of his fees.
So here's my question. What does the TAP recommend?
I don't know if the TAP recommendation had SATF on there. I'll have to check.
Yes.
Judge, the TAP recommendation the TAP will need to be redone. The TAP class is conducted in October of 2023.
All right, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'll tell you what it recommended at that time.
Yes.
Supportive outpatient treatment must be waived and cover support.
All right. I'm going to deny the motion. I'm going to alter and amend conditions to include an updated TAP in custody. Follow recommendations of TAP. There's going to be 120 sober meetings in 120 days. Is there anything else from either side?
Your Honor, just so I can clarify, it's not reset for sentencing. This is sentencing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what did you
No.
hand me?
I'm sorry. Did I hand you this? Because yes, pass that back to me, please. I'm sorry. He's being continued. So I'm denying the motion, alter and amend conditions to include a TAP evaluation that's to take place in custody and follow all TAP recommendations. And there is going to be 120 sober meetings in 120 days.
And yes, Judge, I understand now. And Mr. Gelina did request to transfer probation to Dallas County. His grandmother has stage 4 cancer in Dallas. Is it Dallas County or Dallas area?
Dallas County.
Dallas County.
All right, I will consider that after I find out what the recommendations are from the TAP evaluation.
And he's going to remain in custody. He's going to enter a plea on a misdemeanor DWI in out of county court 9.
Mhm. All right. So once we see what TAP recommends, then I will make a ruling on whether or not he can transfer.
Thank you,
You're
Judge.
welcome. Who's the attorney on Leo Cantu?
I am good.
And where's Mr. Cantu?
He is.
Hi, Mr. Cantu. All
they couldn't bring him on.
right, Mr. Cantu, come over, please.
Well, I guess we can do an announcement, Judge.
All right, what do you,
I think it's the first setting, Judge. Got discovery, the state tendered an offer. I'm gonna go through some discovery.
all right, when do you want it recalled?
Whatever the first preference.
No, I mean, do you want 30 days? Do you want less than 30
I
days?
could have 30 days, and I think I got March 20th. We'll miss that.
Okay. All right, Norma on Cantu, place him for March 20th. And that will be your plea deadline date? Do you have, all right.
Got an offer yet.
All right, so your plea deadline date will be March 20th. And on that date, you'd have to let the court know if you've reached an agreement with the state or not.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Who's here on Caroline Brown? Hello. Oh, no, I understand. So have you received all discovery?
At this point, I'm trying to determine that, Judge. I haven't been able to ask the
Okay.
state.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, Ms. Brown, if you'll give me a 30-day reset for discovery, and if your attorney wants you brought back over sooner, he'll let us know. Okay. All right, we'll bring you back on March 20th. Thank you. Richard Campos. Who's the attorney for Richard Campos? All right, and where's Mr. Campos?
He's coming.
Hello, Mr. Campos. So you're scheduled for jury trial, but we're actually starting jury on this case. So I'm gonna put you on call, and I'm gonna put you on call for tomorrow. And then if we're actually in jury trial and this hasn't been concluded, you'll receive another date.
You mean this evening, Judge, or?
Yes.
Okay.
So Ms. Ferguson? They're on call for tomorrow.
Okay.
All right.
Just leave my contact number with Ms. Ferguson. Judge.
Yes.
I do that.
Maybe excuse Judge.
After,
After.
yes.
Yep.
And who is on Anel? Soto-Figueroa? Come forward. All right, counsel, you're on call.
Yes, Your Honor. May it be available and reachable through text. I know that she has to work, but we can come here if necessary upon receiving word from the court.
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, who's on Tyler Ketchum? All right, so we're here for a contested.
I think we have that worked out, Your Honor, or we do not need to have it contested here.
Okay.
I think, yes, ma'am. Well, to begin with, this was, Mr. Ketchum is, had just begun supervision.
So is this a plea of true, or what are we doing here?
If Mr. Ketchum agrees to the supervision office's recommendation, the state will withdraw the motion, and it seems that Mr. Ketchum will agree with the supervision office's recommendation.
And what is the recommendation?
Allow to close interest in veterans court referral, set compliance hearing for 60 days to ensure probationer is complying with remaining assessments and referrals.
All right, so Veterans Treatment Court, do they want him?
Judge, they have closed the case out. There was a little pushback in regards to having the evaluation completed. Mr. Ketchum feels that he doesn't need the Veteran Treatment Court services at this time.
All right, so didn't I order that? Who ordered Veterans Treatment Court?
I believe that came out of whenever the plea was originally made, because he does have, he is a veteran. The plea was entered in front of Judge Maheta.
All right. So why are you not participating in Veterans Treatment Court?
I've understood it that I was under probation through the current process. They told me that it would take 2 years to complete the Veterans Treatment Court, which is unacceptable. I'm trying to get into it perfectly.
No, it's gonna have to be acceptable. Here's the thing. This is what I tell people all the time. If everybody could write their own program and be successful at it, none of us would have a job, because everybody would be writing their own program and they would not have cases. So is Veterans Treatment Court gonna take him? Because it was a referral to Veterans Treatment Court. Are they gonna accept him?
Judge, Mr. Herman is on his way now.
All right, so let's see if they're gonna accept him. All right, thank you. All right, yes. Hi.
Good morning, Ms.
Good morning.
Judge Boyd.
Good morning. So, Mr. Ketchum, are you all willing to accept him?
Yes, Your Honor, if he's willing to comply and cooperate with us, we can screen him for Veterans Treatment Court.
All right, so they're willing to accept you. Are you going to comply?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because if you're not going to comply, what's going to end up happening is we're going to be right back here for a contested. And I will tell you, this contract, probation is a contract with the court, not with your attorney, not with the state. So I don't have to sign a motion to withdraw. Do you understand? All right, so probation,
Yes, Judge.
what conditions are you re-adding? Are you adding anything else, or he just needs to comply?
He just needs to comply, Judge. We were gonna ask for a compliance hearing within 60 days. And he needs to sign that. I'm sorry, Andrew.
No problem.
We were gonna ask for a compliance hearing in 60 days to make sure that he is where he is, but if he's going to Veterans Treatment Court, Judge, we would ask that we just get a report from them. Also, Mr. Ketchum did some community service hours through
Cortisone Ministries, Your Honor. This is the paper.
Cortisone Ministries. This is not on our approved list, but we are asking that Mr. Ketchum give you an overall view of what he's been doing there so that you can possibly grant him these community service hours.
All right, what have you been doing there?
They help the disadvantaged homeless in the San Antonio metropolitan area,
Mhm.
some of the like drug affected as well as mental health. So they do case support for housing, food bank works there as well. It's through the Grace Food Bank.
So is that what you've been doing?
Yes, Your Honor.
And it says day center and overnight. What have you been doing overnight?
So this was during the freeze, Your Honor. So they opened up emergency sheltering for the homeless that were in the area whenever it was dropping below freezing temperatures. And I stayed there overnight to help with the rest of the volunteers.
Okay.
That's why the hours are so extended.
All right. Once that's signed by the director, yes, he can have credit for those hours.
Judge, the supervisor did initial, but you want the director to sign off?
Yes.
Okay, Judge. And this is the withdrawal?
Judge,
Yes.
we will need a new order of referral since we did close out the previous one.
Okay.
And then just to be clear, we haven't gotten started on any evaluation process, but as soon as we have an answer, we can report that with the court.
All right. So he's going to be released from custody. So you need to make sure you have their information and make sure that you meet all appointments with them. Otherwise, there's going to be a warrant that's going to be issued because another motion to revoke is going to be filed. Do you understand?
Staying on.
All right. And how long do y'all think it'll take?
So we should have an answer by early March. Unfortunately, we are all booked out for February for the final step, which is the mental health assessment. But by early March, I foresee us having a response
All right.
for this case.
So, Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, sir.
we're going to recall this back on March 17th. Is that enough time?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so we're going to recall March 17th for an update on VTC. Probation, is there anything else? Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All
That's all
right, is
from my-
there anything else you need from the court?
Just to clarify, Your Honor, is he okay to complete the rest of his community service hours with that same
Yes.
ministry? Thank you.
Yes.
And we appreciate your acceptance.
All right, you're welcome. So make sure that you follow through with Veterans Treatment Court. You understand?
Understand, Your Honor.
All right. Make sure you have their information. If for some reason you lose their information, you can always come back to court or talk to your probation officer and they'll give you that information.
Understand, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge. May we be
Welcome.
excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
Have a seat, sir.
Oh, and Norma, he's going to need a reset form for March 17th. All right, so the court is calling 2019 CR 12495 State versus Taymor Mcintyre. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett, hang on.
Defense?
John Hunter for Mr. McIntyre. Stephen Gilmore for Joanna Reyes.
All right, so we are here and Miss, well, where did they take Mr. McIntyre?
Was he there?
He was.
He was.
Sorry.
There he is. There. There he is.
If you have a seat, are you able to not hear from a seated position, sir?
I just couldn't hear from back there, but I mean, I couldn't see from
No,
back
no, no,
there.
no, no, that's fine. You can stand there. If the deputy has no objection, you can stand there so you can hear.
Okay.
All right, are you able to hear now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. McIntyre is by Zoom. Any objection to Mr. McIntyre appearing by Zoom for this hearing?
No objection.
All right, so The reason we're here is for discovery, is that correct?
A discovery matter, yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. All right, and for the record, what is that discovery matter?
It is, I believe, the plea bargain agreement that was put on the record at the time of Ms. Joanna Reyes's plea at the time in front of the court. I believe Judge Contreras was there and Jason Goss was there, Your Honor, and it was brought to our attention that by Mr. Hunter through Jason Goss, the prosecutor at the time, that some information was put on, or possible testimony on during that plea agreement hearing. And that's what defense has requested, and the state is not opposed to that, and the state is requesting it also, Your Honor.
All right, and so it's the court's understanding, and we had a conversation off the record, it wasn't ex parte, and the conversation was that that record was sealed and properly sold. So I wanted the defense attorney to be here to address the issue because it is sealed. And so because it's sealed, it's part of his client's rights. And I wanted to know whether or not there was any objection to the unsealing of that record so that it can be given to defense and the state.
Yes, Judge, no objection to sealing the record. I've conferred with Ms. Reyes. She, of course, does not object. It was always our understanding that that record would at some point be provided to defense.
All right, then the record will be unsealed without objection. And then, I'm sorry. All right, thank you. If you could bring it. And just out of abundance of cautions and to make sure that things are done as quickly as possible, the court ordered them to go ahead and print the record just in case. So the record is in back. So before parties leave, if there needs to be copies made, you can make copies in back of the record. So the court will grant the motion to unseal the record of Ms. Reyes' sentencing. And my understanding is that the court reporter has made a, yes.
The plea colloquy, we haven't done sentencing yet.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Of the plea. So the court reporter has already made the record.
Does that include the plea bargain agreement itself that was
Well,
signed?
let's open it and see. This is like surprise.
Yeah.
Let's see what's in this.
Mystery box.
And then, of course, Mr. Gilmore, if you need a copy, you can have a copy as well.
Just
What the reporter's record says is this is a plea bargain testimony of Joanna Marie Reyes. So the court only has one. If you all could call the court reporter and see if she has any objection to you all copying it. All right, there should not be any objection because, well, you have paid for the record.
We're making those arrangements.
All right.
I want to talk to Mr. Garrett about that. Yes, we're taking care of that.
All right, so off the record, I've unsealed it. Does anybody want to call the court reporter? Because this is technically her work product. And if she's expecting payment for this, we need to make sure that's done before I just start handing over. So if you can give her a phone call right now, and counsel, if you'll call her also and see if she has any objections to a copy being given to the state and to Ms. Reyes' attorney.
I'll call right now.
All right, thank you. And then, is there anything else for Mr. Mcintyre?
Nothing at this time, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Mcintyre, the record is going to be unsealed and your attorney will be given a copy of the record.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mcintyre.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Do I leave?
No, just remain there and we'll call the deputy to let them know that your hearing has concluded.
Okay.
All right, thanks.